Said React Native is a combination of JavaScript, right? And looking looking at exactly how to run React Native, that we have here, here you can run, you come here, come to guides, then you come to environment setup, right? And we said there are mainly two ways. There are mainly two ways to get React Native up and running. One is Expo, and the other is React Native CLI. And we said React Native CLI gives us, more room and flexibility to do remember the power of CLI. Unlike the Expo Go is really nice for, we're just getting started with React Native outfits. So it just comes with, all those pre-installed stuff for us to just get to work and stuff, right? So that's where React Native is, right? Which is beautiful. And we also, okay, that's for Expo Go and React Native. So, for React CLI, you can see all the options. Also mentioned that I wanted to start working with CLI, but there were quite a lot of things that has to be done. So I just decided to kind of like, let it go. So I think it would be better I do Expo. Because Expo is yeah, and we have just here. I will also mention that on CLI, you you cannot with the Windows or Linux system, you cannot really build for iOS devices. You need a Mac OS to build for iOS. And because Android is open source, you can build on Android on any device, whether it's Mac OS or Linux or Windows, you can build for Mac OS. But the way to go around that, since we have to build iOS, like to try out how iOS, like that would be need to do that on our Expo, right? And as you can see, the simple step here, this is for NPM, this is for YAM. So let's just work with NPM. NPM comes with Node. So since we will start Node, it's just the same. And this is simply how to create, NPM creates Expo app, and then the name, whatever name you'd like to give it. And you have to note that sometimes these things actually take a little time. They take a little time. They have to install this and that. So I would just like to do this. I use my documents on my desktop. My desktop is getting filled up. So let's just go ahead and see how things go. We do this, you see that it's going to take a little while. Press Y to proceed and hit enter. So that all that is going to be downloaded. Everything it needs to be downloaded into a directory called Awesome Project. Awesome Project, and then we do MPX Expo start to start Expo, right? And they said this will start a development server for us. It's going to start as a development server. And now, when it comes to running React Native application, so you have to go to your Play Store and download Expo. Expo is very, very important. So if you are using an Android, if you're using an Android phone, just go to your Play Store. This is the app. Use the Expo app. You can download it and you can see whatever you are building, right? That's nice. Okay. So just ensure you download it. It's available on Android and iOS. Whatever you're using, be sure to download it, right? And see the step. Make sure, like I said, install the Expo app on iOS or Android phone. Connect to the same wireless network. So make sure you're connected to the same wireless network because either you maybe can use your phone's hotspot and connect to your laptop or you have your Wi-Fi at home. Just make sure your phone and your laptop is connected to the same wireless network. Android, use the Expo app to scan the QR code from your terminal to open the project. iOS, use built-in QR code for wireless. So you see, this is the simple steps on our React Expo. On React Native, we see that we literally have a lot. We have to install dependencies, we have to install Node through Chocolate, Java ID, Java development kit. There's just a lot you have to do before you be able to start running. Right? So that's why it gives you more control. Expo just gives us the expo. You can understand me. Okay. Let's see how our mission project is going. So, as you can see, it is done downloading, right? And look at the steps. Set your project is ready. Look at the steps it's telling us here, right? What did he say? We say we should cd into our project, awesome project. Now we are in that direction. Then then awesome project. So I would like to open it on my Visual Studio Code. I want to open it on my Visual Studio Code. And this is everything on my Visual Studio Code, right? This is my app.js. And now, one thing you would want to think, this is no longer new to us, right? You know, how we import from, right? And as you can see, it's imported style sheets, text, and view from React Native, which is one of the dependencies it needs very seriously, right? And um, one thing you have to note is that in React Native, right, just like in our normal web development, when we say div, React Native identifies it as view. Anywhere you see view, you know that that is div for your normal web development. Anywhere you see text, that's how to include text for your normal web development. Style sheets is for, you're doing the CSS aspect of that. That's the command you simply have to use for that, right? So, it is here. Can you come this far with your laptop? I don't know this is happening here.
No, so I'm not on my PC. I'm using my phone.
Ah. So, the problem that you had that is keeping you away from class, hope we've sorted it out.
Not yet, sir. I'm still on it. It's well. I'll be fine.
Okay, let's quickly just let's go to the next thing this asks us. We have to MPM. So we can do something like NPM starts. So it's starting it, but 8081 is being used by another process. Yes, it's a different port. So 8082, and you see it's starting Metro bundler. Then you can still make your research on what exactly Metro bundler is and all that. But what Metro bundler does is that it helps us, we're going to see. So let's just give it a while to start the Metro bundler.
Sorry, sir. I have a question.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right. Thank you. I don't know. Did you use either NPM Android or iOS
No, no,
before
no. I
the
just did.
NPM start?
I don't know. No, I just did NPM start. If you want to do that, you can just if you want to be specific, look at the option is still here. Now, I just did NPM start. So now it's telling me that okay, if you want to build for Android, press A. If you want to build for web, I should press W. I should open my web. If I want to build for, if I want to open my debugger, J. If I want to reload the app, I should press R. So I'm seeing all those options here. So now, remember we said download your Metro app. So I say Metro, Expo. Now when you download your Expo app, you have to open the app. You have to open the app. I don't know if this thing. When you open the app, you click on scan QR code from the app. This thing is blurring my screen. Already-
Yes, it's blurry. I think it's the way you set your this thing. The
Yes,
way you
no,
set your.
yes, I know. Okay, it's no longer blurring. And it's even kind of like turning it upside down and stuff. So you want to click on so you want to click on um, the scan QR code, yeah? This option here. We want to click on that. Now,
Yes.
once we click on that, you see that our QR code scanner has come up. As you can see, it's asking me to scan, right? Now, I just place it and I scan this, and immediately the app is loading. The app is loading. So, you see, up here, it's saying bond length, 71%. Up here, it's saying bond length, 71%. So, we have to, now it's 85%. We have to give it all that freedoms, all of that. And you see that when it is done, what is going to happen is that on my on my okay, it's running. Let's just um, all right. So it is done. And what do you see here? Can you read what it says here? Okay, you cannot even see it.
No, I can't even see your screen.
Can you see?
Okay, it's too tiny. Like, wait.
It says
So okay,
open
open up app.js to start working on your app.
that is it. And it is the thing is that it is displaying exactly the text that is here. You see this? Remember we said how we render text in React Native is here. So that text that is here, open app.js to start working on your app. That is exactly what is going to display here. So you see that we learned JavaScript, we learned React. So if you literally start building, you know, start building your mobile application, you can be, building and running it real time on your mobile phone, seeing how everything goes and all that stuff, right? So if I want to change this to hello, I decide to change this to hello world, you see, it's going to change. It's going to change in the app. You see that hello world.
Yes, yes, I've seen it.
Everything is going to happen real time. Now, the disadvantage of this method is simply that that simply means that our phone would have to be with us all the time, right? So that's why what we are not with our phone at that particular point in time or our mobile device. Because of course, the phone could be low, the phone could be away from you. You may not be able to connect to the same network and all that, right? So that's why there are, you know, that's why there are, that's why there are, is it emulators or simulators? You can run Android virtual device on your computer, but you have to know that, running all these multiple stuffs, you know that you like, imagine now, VS Code is open on my system, many browsers is open, WhatsApp is open, all some of these things are heavy, right? Even OBS Studio is open. OBS Studio is really, really very heavy. You saw what happened to my system here. My system kind of was slowing down just because of OBS Studio. The yesterday class, right? So, but this one now is a little bit faster, right? So it has something like a 16 gig. So it has much room to accommodate, right? So you have to make sure that at least anyhow, even though it's just the thing will slow you down a little bit, which is still fine. To run virtual Android devices on our system, we would have to go to uh, we have to find developer. Okay, exactly. We have to install Android Studio system. Download Android Studio. So yeah, this is the website developer.android.com/studio. So we have to download introduction of SDK by you. Read and create. We have to install Android Studio on the system. And I think this file is going to be pretty heavy. Going to be pretty heavy. What's the size there? Oh my gosh, 1 gig.
So this Android Studio, what exactly does it do?
Instead of look at my phone now, one of the major things which is very important for I don't have to be carrying my phone anytime I want to develop. for Android mobile device, right? I don't have to always carry my phone. I can do everything from my laptop. I don't know if you understand. You understand now?
Network. Network.
Android Studio helps
What
me run.
happened?
Android Studio helps me run virtual Android device from my laptop. Help me run virtual Android device from my laptop. So and why the reason why it is like there are multiple sub apps inside. You have Android emulator inside. You have Android SDK build tools. You have Android SDK platform. You have Android SDK platform tools. You have Intel emulator accelerator. You have SDK patch applier. And you have sources for Android. All of these things are just separate files on their own.
So this network is not stable.
So when I'm looking at what as our Android Studio is still downloading, we can still just, continue building while using our, while using our mobile devices. So as you've noticed, one of the major reasons I didn't just type npm start Android like you said is because it would want to run it on my local machine, and if I don't have Android Studio, it's not going to bring up with mobile. So that's why I had to just install Android Studio, and I have this error logs on my phone simply because I'm not running this yet. So I have to close it, turn it to my phone again, scan, scan the code. So I'm up, back up. So if I decide to, if I decide to react to the that's not reflected on my list. Let me remove this first. Let me remove that. See how it's reloading here, right? Exactly. So it is up now, right? So here we can see how on these options we can open our debugger, we can reload this page, this app if we want, we can go do all sorts of things. And one of the reasons why Expo is very, very important, just like somebody was asking me if I'll be teaching how to upload apps, how to upload apps, deploy apps, right? So, deploying applications, app stores, is no different game than that, which is one of the reasons Expo is actually very, very cool. Because with Expo, you can actually, look, as in upload your applications on Expo, then you can send people link, just like GitHub. You can send people link and they can go there, try out, try out the app, test out things. And you know that if our apps, if our apps, through past errors that we don't really understand or we cannot track, how do we able to catch that error and know? Because our app is not going to tell us, tell the error. Sometimes leave that we'll be running some things on the web and it tells us, okay, this is what's here. Most times it's not really going to show that, but it's going to store your error message somewhere, right? So where do we say those messages are stored, especially for debugging purposes, for us to know that this app ran successfully or it did not? Who can remind me?
I can't remember.
Oh, because you are probably
Was it what was it the yesterday's class?
you don't know this thing.
Maybe I didn't get the question correctly.
So it's literally we've spoken countlessly that our app logs messages in the log in the console, and this is where we use to test our things. So I can pass in a message that okay, if this goes well, right, what should happen? It should log me app executed. You see that? So when I see app executed, I know that okay, yes, this app is functioning. I can still, write in more commands to catch different kind of errors, so that when I see that error, I'll be able to know that okay, this is how and where I can begin and start debugging from. So console.log, so console.log has very different impact on building our apps. In fact,
Yeah,
on anything,
Sapamuta.
yes,
Yeah,
on
Sapamuta.
anything. But then
Oh,
it can be
Sapamuta and Ekoriego. Huh?
Chikeze, who they discuss with.
Hey, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
I want to say your landlord land abi. So
Yes. Okay, sorry.
mobile devices is to really really cost problems, right? So it's always better running things like this should be more like on
Yeah.
the it
Nah.
should be mainly on our Chrome, right? So can maybe create an empty variable, say S. We only do
Bros,
the
can you not exactly?
Chikeze, mute your mic.
Mazi. Mazi. Hey, put your hand in. Yeah.
Chikeze, mute your mic. So even as I'm typing this out, you see, I'm just getting, multiple errors, right? Multiple errors, showing me red and black and this and that. So I want to do something. I want to do something. Just debugger. So you see that I can literally debug. I can debug my app remotely from my phone. And to open, options from your app on your phone, you have to simply do is shake your phone, and the options will come up. Once these options come up, you click on Open JS Debugger, and this is going to a new window, debugger window is going to come up. So if I decide to now, as you can see in my debugger, so you can see the app executed is being logged, which is what we console.log, and then we are getting the error, type error, cannot read property to string of undefined, right? So what does that mean? Edikan, Chikeze, what does that mean?
Can you go back to the code itself? X is undefined, so you can't. I mean, X is undefined now, so apparently you can't attach. Since it's undefined, you can't change it to a string, something like that.
So let's say we can't, so you know what I should maintain the just to actually working on the choice. Go. trying to do, I was trying to like show us, I was trying to like show us how we can get to debug our codes, even though we are on our phone. As far as we are connected to that app, we can just run it through on our, we can debug it from our phone. Like I said earlier, if you want to bring out that option, all you have to do is shake your phone and you click on open test debugger, and then that window is going to be opened and all, all our debugging, which is already something we're familiar with, right? Like in our console, in our phone. And when we click on our Elements tab, it should be like the HTML tab, then we can go to the network section. Not really ever debug a code up to this level, right? But when it comes to mobile applications, all of these things are literally, they are very, very important. Right? So, hopefully we'll get to, do all of these things if we would like to debug in Chrome, right? So also you can still, debug from your terminal. So you can still debug from your terminal if it doesn't be looking at. And praise the Lord, our Android Studio has just updated. So I'm just going to run through the installation process. It's verifying installer. We say yes. Go next, 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 install. Why that is installed this one. If you would like to, if you want to debug, if you would like to debug our code directly on, um, our VS Code, we have to download this in this extension. It's very, very, it comes in very, it's called React Native. Yeah, React Native tools. We have to install this. It was built by Microsoft, and it really, really helps us, debug our React, right? Yes, want to do you can come to debug section there. So currently we don't really have a debug file. So it's the debugger is suggesting to us to create a launch JSON file. Which we can go ahead and click this. And then we want to select React Native. And now we are going to see various configurations to plug in React Native apps. And so we have debug Android, debug iOS, run iOS. Yeah, let's so if we didn't install that React Native extension, we are really not going to see this. configurations. We are seeing this configuration because this is what the extension will install as and that what we have the more checked. So so let's just deselect this and select attach to packager. And to be very honest with you, this is the only configuration I'm familiar. I'm yet to try out debug Android or run Android or debug iOS. So that's why we learn every day. Chief is that you can decide to go very far with that and maybe even teach me about that shortly. So once I click attach to packager, I'm going to click on OK. Now, as you can see, it has immediately created this file and it has used all what we, all what we imputed to create our JSON file here, right? Version 0.2.0, configurations, dash package app. So I think we, checked multiple stuff. We're just going to add up all those JSON files. Just going to add them, just like our node modules, right? So it's just that easy. And as you can see, we have this is an object, right? And in this object, we have just one configuration. And that configuration name is attached to packager because that was the only thing we we you know we decided to work with. Right? So if you want to add more configurations, right? If you want to add more configurations, so it's very, very easy to do that, right? It's very, very easy to do that. You can simply just come here and click add configuration, right? And as you can see, we are still going to select React Native. Let's choose the second configuration called application. We have Android, iOS. Let's select Android. So I'll choose the classic application, right? So, and as you can see, so as you can see, another object is being added. Now we have the bug Android. So that's how you can keep adding as much, as so in our main file, right? Um, this is where you're going to find it under the .vs code. If you click on the .vs code, this is where it is located. As you can see, launch.json, right? Launch.json. Yes, yes. Let's see how our Android file is doing. Next, and let's finish this. Okay, so our Android Studio is, done downloading. I'll click on next, next, standard, and this is everything that is being added, right? Which is the total size of 1.94 gig. Wow. So Android emulator, this. Click on next. We have to accept their terms, and it's trying to tell us that all these things will have to be downloaded. We have to accept all the terms. We have to accept terms of Intel, accept terms of SK. So please, you have to always read all these steps so that you know when you are joining Illuminati company, don't go and be clicking accept, accept. You are not reading, you are accepting. Well,
Nigeria is not a bit.
they just come to your door and carry you that you are accepting to join Illuminati. Your initiation is so time. Don't have choice because you did not agree and read. So try and be reading what you are accepting to. So you see now, we just spent 1 gig installing this Android Studio and now downloading the Android Studio. Now for the Android to be installed, I need to spend extra 2 gig. So you see that surely will be small thing, right? So you have to make sure that I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to go too far or too fast so that you guys will not have so much to cover up for. Because ideally, you guys are not supposed to be learning without your laptops. As I'm doing, you should be doing so that if you're encountering challenges, we get to, resolve it together. Just like if, okay, take for instance, we were working on we were working on something in the last class, right? When I was trying to run that React Native app. We saw that I got that error. It was after the class. I tried to find out why was I getting that error? Why was it not displaying hello world? And I realized that it's because I deleted an index.js file. It's in my index.js file, I imported all those things that I needed. Now I went to do the mistake of deleting the index, and I now wanted to work from the app.js. That was wrong. I was not able that just like we were doing our code sandbox. Then I leave just the index.js and do everything I want to do by index.js. So I made that mistake. And sometimes you may not really see certain things. That's why when you have peers and people that works with you, everybody comes together and sees certain things, right? So let's try something. Let's test out our debug. Let me say let's let me go to the debug. And yeah, as you can see, we have two configuration sets attached package. So let me stick to the attached packager and I press my play. So as you can see, it is debugging the code. So as you can see, after I press play, our debugger started kind of
Please,
like,
I have a question.
yeah, what's your question?
Okay, so thank you. From I wasn't in yesterday's class, so maybe all these things have been
Yesterday
taught.
was
Please, I'm
we were
sorry to draw anybody back.
yesterday was React. I'm not even doing anybody around.
Okay, okay. From the app.js I'm seeing, and then the app function I'm seeing. I can see you did export defaults, then the function name, and inside it you have your the code and then the return. Now in this return, all right,
Yeah.
uh, I'm seeing view style, I'm seeing text, I'm seeing status bar. I don't know. Are all these things part of the React Native this thing? Because I'm also seeing that the style the something like the HTML CSS is being called here as well. Unlike in the normal React where we have a separate CSS file. What I want to know is, did you write all these codes or they just came by default?
Like we said earlier, right? This is Expo. So Expo just helps us do less of all these jobs, right? So when as we created, we did npm, React Expo, and it just brought up all the stuff for us. And I said all these things are components, they are dependencies that React Native needs to function, right? Now, and I mentioned that one of those components that you see that imports from the React Native is that is one style sheet, text, and view. And I said view is more like the div of our normal web development. What React Native knows is view. And it's text, as the name implies, text, as the name implies, style sheet. That's where you want to do your styling, right? That's why, because of the style sheet here, when we now called our style sheet under and tell our style sheet how we want it to be, it has a flex of one and it has a background color of this, that is white, and it should be aligned and justified on the center. That's why when I showed you how it happened from my phone, where did you see it? It was at the center, right? So even this function here, this is a function component. This is a function component. And remember when we are exporting something, remember, when we want to export something, we have to do the return, right? So that's just how the syntax is. That's why we say it's a combination of React and uh, JavaScript. I don't know if I don't know if I've answered your questions. As you can see here now, the view, just like we said, the view is like the div. So you can follow what is going on here, like inline styling. Chikeze, your mic is muted in case you're trying to speak. We can call this like inline styling, right? And as you can see, the created it says style equals to styles dot container, right? And now it came here and you know when we're doing our normal DOM manipulation in JavaScript, style sheet dot create. No, we create like a class, right? Or something like a semi-div called container, putting all these style properties into that container. So anywhere the thing sees container, it knows that hey, whatever is going to collect container, it has to have a flex of one. And that color has to be white. It has to align items to its center. It has to justify content to the center. I don't know if you understand me. And once we now come here in styles.container, all that style sheets, all that style sheets factors we created are made. passed into the clinical object called complete. So another bit about motion, so what's the difference between so one of the major reasons why things like view and all these things is very important. React Native allows for cross-platform development, right? So that view now that you are typing, all you know that you're using Vue, right? But if if you're building for say if you're building for say um, iOS now, what iOS see is UI view, right? Because that's what iOS, which is the view that is native for iOS applications. And if you want to do same for Android, what Android is going to run in the code Android is going to run in place of the view is what Android view. That is why it's just our own code of view. Our that view has the ability to run the code on their native platform. So whether it's iOS or Android, right? Which is what we've spoken about. And as we've debugged this code, as you can see, there's no error. All what you did is doing well and fine. So to stop this, I have to come here and click stop, right? To stop my debugger. So then to see whatever my debugger has, I have to come to my view. I have to I have to come to my view menu and I have to come to debug console. And as you can see, there is really no error here, right? Attaching to the application, starting debugger app, starting connection. So there is really no issue. So as you can
Okay,
see,
so I have a,
um, yeah, you have a question? Go ahead, please.
like you just forced the stop the debugging. Does it mean that it doesn't have a time frame to stop, or will it just run when running the debugging? Will it
So
just run like that, or does
yeah, sometimes it stops, yeah. But
it?
why? I don't know this. So why this one is on like this kind of continuous this thing is maybe when it encounters an error, it will stop. Let me say, let me let me let me say I want to. Oh my gosh! Okay, something like this. See that now? I said error occurred, right? Error occurred.
Yes.
So yeah, you be fool. So as you can see, everything seems alright. So guys, if you have any questions, let's feel free to ask now. So guys, if we have any questions, let's ask now so we look into them right away.
Okay, sorry, though I wasn't in the beginning of the class. I saw you using phone to check, like while you were typing the code, you
I
were
couldn't hear you.
monitoring it with your phone. So I don't know how you happen to do that.
You say you don't know how I was monitoring from my phone.
Like, yes,
Okay, so once the class ends, you would have to watch through the video, right? So, and I changed my mind since you're the one that you voted Expo yesterday, so I decided to do Expo since it is going to be easier for us, right? So this is Expo. What you simply have to do is to go and download the Expo app. When you download the Expo app in your phone, you scan the QR code, you connect, and you probably link your phone directly with this, right? So wait, let me reload this. Let me reload from it's telling me another debugger. Another debugger is already. Let me close that first. Um, which other debugger can? Let's open my let's open my browser. It's not there again. Not there again. I've taken it out. So, we're going to call it a day today. Okay, this is complete fast. So that I'll upload the video. Please let's make sure we take out the time to practice this very well. Like practice it very well. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we've literally seen how we can, build mobile applications, right? So we'll try and see the kind of application we can build tomorrow, no matter how, small it is, so that you can get to, scale it yourself to whatever levels you want, okay? So thank you so much guys and see you tomorrow. Bye.
All right, bye bye, sir. Thank you.
So finally, as we ended the class, our Android studio is done downloading. So before we just go, let's just see simply how we can work with the Android, right? We are clicking on new projects. So if you click on more actions, virtual device manager, um, you'll be able to like you know, select the select uh, the device we want to update. If we click on this plus here, I think we'll be able